All right, so the proverbial hammer was dropped on Michigan today by the NCAA for the sign stealing scandal. And I gotta say, this hammer feels more like one of those Little Tikes hammers that we would have had as children, as compared to an actual hammer that you'd buy from Ace Hardware or the Home Depot. Let me explain the punishments that Michigan football is going to face from the NCAA as a result of this scandal. So, first and foremost, it's going to face 4 years of probation. What that means essentially is there's just going to be an increase in monitoring from the NCAA over the program. Nothing more, nothing less. Financial penalties, it's looking like right now the total amount for the fines, when it's all added up, is going to be around $35 million. Some of these include the $50,000 fine plus 10% of the budget for the football program, a fine equivalent to the anticipated loss of all postseason competition revenue sharing associated with this season and the 2026 football season, and a fine equivalent to the cost of 10% of the scholarships awarded in Michigan's football program for the 2025-2026 season. So those are a lot of fines. When it all adds up, like I said, that figure is going to be around $35 million. And at the surface, that sounds like a lot. And it is. It's definitely going to halt the momentum of the program somewhat, but not much. Let me put this into perspective for you. Michigan's athletic department overall generated $252.8 million in 2024. North of $250,000. So yes, $35 million is a lot of money, but to the Michigan program, it's not as significant as it sounds. This one caught my eye a little bit. This punishment caught my eye. A 25% reduction in football official visits during the 2025 and 26 season. This one hurts a little bit because it's going to directly impact recruiting. I'm not as concerned about the 2026 class because Michigan is already killing it, but this will more so impact the 2027 class because these current recruits, some of them won't be able to get on campus and meet the staff in person, see the facilities, see the fields. When that number of official visits goes down, there's not as many guys that you're going to be able to host as you would have wanted. You'll still get most of your 5 stars and 4 stars on campus, but Michigan is going to have to be more selective when it comes to the guys that they're going to bring out to Ann Arbor. It's not going to be as liberal as it was before. They got to be more specific, more particular. So, again, it's a nuisance. It's an inconvenience, but it's not exactly detrimental. And there's also a 14-week prohibition on recruiting communications in the football program during the probation period. Shout out Detroit Press for all this information. That's where I'm reading all this from my phone right now. They did a great job covering this, I just got to say. But that's the last detail there. Let's talk about what's going to happen to Connor Stalions, who was essentially the ringleader in this whole thing. He has an 8-year show cause order, which essentially restricts him from all athletically related activities during this period. And what a show cause essentially is in college football, it means that if a program were to want to hire Connor Stalions in any capacity, it would have to justify the hire to the NCAA. So they would just have to reason with the NCAA. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. That's all. Jim Harbaugh, he's facing a 10-year show cause order. Denard Robinson, a 3-year show cause order. And Sharon Moore, a 2-year show cause order. Sharon Moore also has one more game added to his suspension. There's a self-imposed suspension for 2 games this year for Sharon Moore from Michigan. And it was decided today that Sharon Moore's additional game that he suspended and would take place in the 2026 and the 2027 season. It's looking like that game is going to be the first game of the 2026 season, which is against Western Michigan. So we made a video about Western Michigan a few weeks ago. I have a lot of respect for that program, the undefeated season in 2016. But as far as Michigan's matchup with them in 2026, I think that that's one that Michigan should handedly win. So, again, a little convenient for Michigan there. So when all of these punishments add up. It may seem like a lot. There's a lot of bullet points, but the summation of it all, it really feels more like a slap on the wrist than a punishment that's going to be detrimental to Michigan for years to come. And I'm not at all insinuating that the punishments should damage the program by any means or take it off the map, but there could have been a little more oomph. There could have been a little more of a statement made by the NCAA when it comes to these punishments, because Michigan staffers were intentionally traveling to different Big Ten games to steal signs. I mean, this is significant. Their current head coach, Sharon Moore, deleted 52 text messages pertaining to this. Connor Stallion's phone from back in the day, 2021 to 2023. It's on the bottom of a pond. That report came out today. He destroyed his phone and threw it in a pond. So it's in the bottom of a pond somewhere, so that paper trail from his phone can't be detected. That's how significant this is. It's straight up cheating. And I get it. Everybody does something to find an edge. And I'm not going to speculate on what other programs do, but everybody does something to get ahead. And I know, just like the Astros in baseball, Michigan got caught. But they got caught. And this should be addressed appropriately. When you compare these punishments to punishments that have happened in the past, it feels a little insignificant. Let's go back to the early 2010s, where Ohio State faced a postseason ban for improper benefits, including cash exchange and tattoos. Yes. They couldn't be ranked. They couldn't play in the postseason because of that. USC received a postseason ban and couldn't be ranked because of the Reggie Bush scandal. I mean, give me a break. All I'm saying here is that Michigan should have received a ban from the college football playoff this year and bowl games. That's all I'm saying. Shouldn't be ranked in the CFP poll or the AP poll this year, but just this season. After that, face the fines. After the smoke clears and the dust settles after 2025 and 26, it's full steam ahead for the Wolverines. I'm not saying that the NCAA should have cracked down the hammer or cracked the whip harder than they already did, but a postseason ban should have taken place. I'm not even going to say that wins should have been vacated or the championship should have been vacated, because those games happened. You can't negate them. Michigan won the national championship in 2023 and 2024. They won those games. They deserve to win all those games. They deserved to beat Ohio State. They deserved to beat Alabama. They deserved to beat Washington. They earned those wins. They should not lose credit for that. And I also never understood the inherent purpose of vacating wins, because you can't just pretend like something didn't happen. It almost feels like a mind game. It's not real. It's not tangible. We can go back and watch these games at any time. They happened. And like I said, Michigan, all those players, they earned that shit in 2023. So you cannot take that away from them. And I do want to add, part of the NCAA's reasoning for not implementing a postseason ban is that they didn't want current players to face the brunt and the consequences for stuff that happened in the past. And I totally get that. But the program should have faced it for just this year. Just this year is all I'm saying. I think that proves a point. And now I do want to add as well, Michigan is appealing this ruling. They made that decision about 4 hours after the ruling came out. So it'll be interesting to see what results from that. But that's my take on all of this. It'll be interesting to see what happens between the NCAA and Michigan down the line. But Michigan fans, you can't really say that the NCAA is after you anymore. I'm going to be honest, because this punishment is rather light compared to what it could have been. Again, It'll cause some inconveniences. In the grand scheme of it all, it may slow the momentum of the program when it comes to cash flow and recruiting for the next year, maybe year and a half, 2 years. Outside of that, Michigan will be right back on course, and I feel like competing for national championships realistically every year. But let me know what y'all think about the ruling in the comment section below. Did the NCAA get it right? Was Michigan punished enough? Or should there have been more consequences added to the list? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Have a great day.